You're listening to Off the Stage with your hosts, James Berry and Conor Michael, where we take musicians off the stage and into the pub to talk about the ins and outs of the music world.
Hello again, and welcome to Off the Stage with me, James Berry, and Conor Michael. If you're watching on YouTube, you might find there's a bit of different scenery, because we're in a different pub. We're in the Blue Bell in Fulham, and we're going to just get cracking on with get the show started.
I like the fact that somebody's just listening to you go, there's a different scenery because we're in a different pub, and someone probably watches and going, never crossed my mind that they've moved pubs. Just fantastic green screen.
It's all been a lie. We've just been sitting on a green screen.
Berry Island.
That's your next step, yeah.
That is right. So we've got a very special guest today. It's actually we've had you on before, haven't we?
Yeah, your pilot episode, I believe.
Pilot episode,
yeah.
where
viewers won't remember though.
No,
yeah,
where everything went wrong.
Yes.
Where the camera didn't work, but now I've got a new camera that's working. Now the other fuck up I did was I told the rest of the band we were here on Tuesday. It was in fact Monday.
It was a little bit lonely before you guys got here, I'm not gonna lie.
But anyway, for those who aren't watching on Spotify, welcome to our guest, Mr. Scott Gears. See, we've changed a bit since the first episode, you see.
It's very fancy. I
got
like
the audience as well, you see.
Audience and your Tony Horn voice in the morning, it's beautiful.
Yeah. Great crack.
Right, I've got to say, but do you want to go?
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, go on.
What are you drinking?
Do you know, I've gone for a northern favourite today. I went for my double Maxim. And I believe it used to be brewed in Sunderland, is that right?
It did, yeah.
Sure it was. Perfect. Very nice.
It's a nice. I like a good double Maxim.
It's brown ale.
It's never had it.
Better than brown ale, in my opinion.
Ooh.
It's, I'll die on that hill, by the way.
Controversial.
It is.
If we lose viewers, that was James's view, not mine.
We're not endorsement. Well, I've got I've got two Beavertown neck oils. The Blue Bell, they're doing you get a collection card where you buy 8 pints and you get the 9th pint free. And you get a little stamp, they've stamped 2 for us.
James is on to his 12th free
so
pint.
12
I just went basic with Guinness because don't really do that in the ship ISIS do it. It's a good mystery drink game down there. It's like, what you got this week? I'll have that one.
They change it all the time. They're changing the barrels and I'm a bit like fickle when it comes to my drink choice. I kind of just I look at the picture. Then if I like the look of the picture,
pretty, yeah,
and it's not like 8% or whatnot, I'll be having it. Don't care what it tastes like.
It's a lot of 8.4% over there, though.
Yeah, they like the big ales.
We're gonna have a special episode where we just get bladdered with musicians, and it's definitely going to be at the ship ISIS.
That's going to be the 20th. Yeah,
20th episode, not 20th of September.
Yeah, 20th episode, I should say.
Could be. So yeah, I've started actually prepping episodes properly. Originally we started chatting shit, and then there was like long pauses, and we were like,
I remember it well.
So we had a couple of like Instagram questions, and we didn't get a lot of responses this week, unless it was your missus, my missus, or Spitfire Bullets.
Let's be honest, that's the main people who we get.
It is. So a bunch of these are Ashley's, and you'll know which ones are which.
I can almost guarantee it.
Well, she asks, what happened to your hair? Has old age finally caught up to you? For the viewers who can't see it under his hat,
he's got a cap on.
Scott had a little bit of a hair shave.
It's we're gonna say that's parenthood getting to me. It's stress.
Didn't look like that when you got off the plane.
It takes time, you know. But yeah, it's I'm gonna claim that was a lot to do with the journey. Actually, I had 48 hours of travel recently, and I was so uncomfortable during all of it. I kind of thought, yeah, I'm gonna shave off my hair. Just make sure I'm at least not uncomfortable on my head anymore.
Imagine as well 48 hours of travel without like washing your hair and all like it's I'd probably
nobody does longer than that anyway. But speaking of parenthood, the next question was obviously congratulations on having a young Scott.
Baby Scott.
Yeah. Baby Scott. Ashley wants to know, what is Elle's favourite song?
Elle's favourite song, she's been rocking out to some Iron Maiden recently. Yeah. She's giving it a bit of that going on. But yeah, we've had her listening to Springsteen and Bowie and all of my favourites, and Mrs. had her listening to a lot of show tunes, a lot of kind of musical theatre numbers. and she's going to have a bit of an eclectic taste, I'm sure.
It's good. You got to indoctrinate them early, though, haven't you? Like,
yeah, basically warping her into Iron Maiden. She's not allowed to not love Iron Maiden, you know.
You disown her if she doesn't like Iron Maiden.
I'd question my involvement if she wasn't into Maiden.
Like that's like the parenthood challenge now is you've left her in America, and when you come back and go, this is what happens if you don't like Iron Maiden, I'll go again.
Never ever come back. I made my promise to come back, you know, no matter how bad she was at listening to heavy metal music. So
it's nice to be like one of the first dads to go and get the milk and come back with the milk for a different continent, but we also got because obviously you're quite well known to be a vegan.
Yeah.
Vegetarian, but it's not from choice.
Yeah, it makes me really ill.
Yeah, have you ever cheated on the vegetarianism? Have you actually tried it now and then?
I accidentally ate some soup with some kind of ham or something in it. It made me throw up pretty quickly.
Is that like a proper like medical condition like you got?
Do you know? I'm not sure. I think it's something
never
that
tested it. You've just kind of like it just makes you ill, and you're like, ah.
Yeah, I don't miss it enough to really care, you know. So yeah, I think I probably could be on some kind of digestive supplement or something like that for the rest of my life, and I just thought I'd rather just not.
No,
I'd sooner not.
I did vegan for 1 month.
I bet that was a long month though.
Yeah. Well, it was when I was working in Darlington, and you get free parking in Darlington. There was a housing estate, but it was like a good 10-minute walk up from the city centre. But all that city centre, that 10 minutes was just non-stop wall-to-wall takeaways. And like as the days went on, like the more vegan I was getting. Like the more like the smell of like the kebabs and stuff was just like really getting to us. I managed 1 month.
Which month?
It was January. It was like Veganuary. It was like
good
a
month.
challenge.
That's February's like a cop out, isn't it?
Yeah. So I carried on for a little while longer. I got like really stressed one time. I was like, oh, sack this. So I went to the Baker's Oven to get a chicken and chips. I was like, yes, it was the nicest thing I've ever had.
I couldn't do veganary. Like I couldn't go to sleep as a vegan. I'd miss the spiders at the night time, you know.
For anyone who's wondering, actually, Connor eats twice as much meat as any normal human, so it kind of makes up for what I'm doing as a vegetarian.
I'm just making sure that you're not missing out. But the second question to that is, if you could eat one meat again, but only one for the rest of your life, which meat would you select?
Do you know the one thing that I'm always tempted to say bacon with something like that, but the thing I miss most is like when you go to a football match and it's the hot dogs for sale.
Oh yeah,
it's like the smell of, something really cheap, and that's what you get.
Accessible.
Like that's the kind of thing I miss. It's not like steak or.
So do you have like when you go to football games? Do you have like a preference food at stadiums?
Stadiums, the vegetarian choices are usually pretty
chips.
Rough. It's like chips or chips, yeah. And they come in like 3 different flavors: black, and burnt. But it's getting a little bit more popular. Some like vegetarian pies you can get now and stuff at like the Stadium of Light, for example. That's usually pretty good.
Well, there's some good like meat alternative things. I mean, Quorn.
Yeah.
I put Quorn all the time in my like spaghetti and stuff like that. So.
Something I forgot to ask you. Stadium Light. Do you guys have Domino's for the crack at Stadium Light?
Domino's.
So. No shock, I went to see a tune at Stadium Light, and they've got this like outside courtyard thing, and that's where people went for like smokes and stuff. But it was still technically in the stadium, so you had to go, you had tickets and stuff.
Yeah.
And outside they had like a Domino's pizza van and stuff.
Oh.
And I was like, surely if they did this at every Sunderland game, that's an absolute killer.
That would be genius. That would be absolutely fantastic.
Yeah. The food. Brilliant. I mean, there's a Facebook group called Footy Food. It's where like it's mainly away fans that they go to like a stadium, and some of the food is like shocking. So you get like cheesy chips and like it must have been like Man City. I don't want to get libelled or anything. I can't remember what it was. It was like a big club. They were selling like cheesy chips for like £5, and there was like no joke of like 4 chips with just like
is it the plastic cheese thing on it?
Yeah. just like
just a slab of cheese.
Horrendous. And I've seen some really good footy food that you get like your good value. But I think Sunderland's is alright actually. It's like it's standard, it's pies and stuff, but it's like.
There was one a couple of weeks ago I saw on that like footy scran thing on Twitter, and it was a sausage roll, and it was a Newcastle. I'm sure it was a Newcastle fan posted it from an away game, and it was just this. It was like a charcoal brick, and the guy like commented on Twitter next to it. He was like, "We paid £5 for this, you know, and this is what I got." And the next comment on it was, "You stood next to me, you still ate it." I was just like, brilliant.
Speaking of sausage rolls, the first question we got in, it was, what would you prefer if you could only have one for the rest of your life, Greggs or McDonald's?
Oh, Greggs, absolutely. I'm a northern boy.
I think it's Greggs, isn't it? I got to the point the other day where, do you want a McDonald's? I was like, no, I think I finally grew up. I turned 28 and went...
As soon as you stop getting the Happy Meal toy.
That's it. They took Pokemon out, so what's the point?
I seen a McDonald's hack that'll change your mind. Right, so it's a cheeseburger. It's like about £1.19 for the cheeseburger. Then you get a mayo chicken burger, and then you put the mayo chicken burger inside the cheeseburger. It's like £2.29 or something daft like that, and it looked the nicest thing ever. I haven't tried it yet. I haven't done it yet, but that's got to be my next thing.
We'll do a food challenge podcast episode.
Mukbang, I think they called it, or something daft like that.
See, I always associate McDonald's with like the place you go when you can't get anything else.
Yeah, it's like
I associate it when we finish Filthies and we're stood in the queue between 100 drunken students shouting and bawling, and we're just there going, I just want like
food.
Yeah, I just want my spicy cheese melts things.
It's because it's sad, because you don't have to get out of your car 24 hours. Not a lot of them are, some of them aren't.
Unless it's a Sunday.
Oh yeah,
fucks me up now and then, that does. Turn up, you drive up and they go, sorry, drive-thru's closed. Why? It's 24 hours.
Yeah. Yeah, well.
And final question we got from Ashley. Why do you...
What does Smash do during the day? Can I ask her questions?
Yeah, go on, ask her.
Ashley, what do you do?
she asks questions. She listens to the podcast on repeat. But she asks, why do you prefer Ashley to Connor?
Oh, well, that's just plain fact, isn't it, you know?
Yeah, but go on, like your top 10 reasons. I know there's thousands. Top 10. We haven't got all day.
Yeah, she's far nicer person, and she's nicer to look at as well.
Yeah.
You have the better breasts, I suppose.
It's true. But that was before I stopped at McDonald's, and now it's like... But yeah, that's pretty much all we had for part 1 so far. Part 2, we've got Would You Rather, a couple Shag, Marry, Avoids, and a new thing we started doing, which is a scenario, and we'll see how that goes, and we'll see you in part 2.
Yeah, spot on.
Sounds good.
Yep, see you in part 2. Hey-o. Welcome back to part 2. Right, so we've got a few questions.
I love the dead silence.
I usually expect you. Welcome back to part 2. I'll wait for you, but you're in the middle of your.
No, I was kind of purposely leaving that.
You're the one with the computer, so I don't know. Honestly, I'm so like I don't get any question. I don't see any of the questions or anything part 2. So
I used to. I think the first 2-3 episodes, I'd like, oh, Jane, this is what we've got, and now I'm like, is a Shag, Marry, Avoid? Oh fuck.
Yeah, so I've no like. I always go in completely blank.
In fairness, I did brief you about 17 seconds ago.
You did. And I can't remember. I remember one of the people with the Would You Rathers, but
I'm still reeling from that Would You Rather. That's horrific.
But yeah, I've got scenarios first. This is the new one that we're trying to do on the podcast, where it's just somebody gives you a scenario, you've got to figure out what you're going to do. We did Zombie Apocalypse last time. This is very similar, but zombies are known for being slow and like you can kind of defend yourself against a zombie.
Yeah, you can head to the Blue Bell and wait for it all to blow over.
And we know you're a massive fan of the Resident Evil games.
I am, huge fan.
All 9 of them.
And the rest.
So if Resident Evil was to happen, and for those who don't know Resident Evil, it's not quite zombie apocalypse, it's more mutations, radiations. So it's kind of like superhuman strength zombies coming at you. What do you do? Right now, if it happened in the middle of this podcast.
Right now,
funny as fuck if somebody walks through that door though.
I'm just going to keep my eye on that.
Right now.
I think Kendo got it right. He hid in the toilet, but I would love to think I went out screaming and kind of went all Chris Redfield on everybody's ass, and
Because the problem is the super strength. They could very easily climb up, smash through the windows and stuff like that.
And it's not always like human looking forms, is it?
Yeah.
I played a few Resident Evil where it's like these big worm fuckers and like it's very different forms. You're not
you know the rules though. If they've got an eye, shoot them in the eye.
Yeah,
that's the rule.
But some of them don't.
As long as it's not like Resident Evil 1 style where you've got to like stop, aim, and then point and then shoot.
I always think they were the ones that creep me out more. The ones where you can't like run away.
Yeah.
The one you can't move from.
You mean when Resident Evil actually kicks in and we all turn into PlayStation 1 characters and we've got the same graphics? Like, this looks a bit different.
To be fair, I think I know what I'd do. Right, I'd be straight on the phone to Wesker. I was like, listen, I think you're right with this, right? I think you've got a point. Just inject me with one of the good stuff.
Make me like, Alice from the TV show.
Just the good. I didn't want to be like a zombie, but like, because they develop it later on, because the first strain's just plain zombies, and then they eventually they improve on the strain, and eventually I want to be the super soldier. And then so I'll be like, I'll just be your bodyguard, Wesker.
You want the same type that Wesker got then?
Yeah,
essentially.
I think because essentially in my opinion, Wesker is like the greatest supervillain ever, because he was one of the only ones who's actually like succeeded in his plan.
Yeah.
So I think there's no winning him. So you might as well, if you can't beat him, join him.
Yeah, you could push him in a volcano. I believe that happened. I'm sure.
Oh.
There's loads of them.
I have to be a super soldier for that to be able to do that.
True.
So.
Loads of volcanoes in Sunderland, isn't there?
Yeah, hundreds.
There's one erupting right now out the window.
Pop them in one of those volcanoes out there.
I think super soldier thing's an idea.
Yeah, I think
cosplay it with Captain America, wouldn't you? And just like really go for it, Captain Carter.
Yeah, you'd become like the super soldier. You've got to be him to defeat him. That's like.
I feel you've really thought about this.
I haven't, honestly. That's the first thing that came in my head. Because usually it's just I'd just wait in the pub and wait for it all to blow over. Like that was my answer last week.
True, Shaun of the Dead.
2 weeks ago. Sorry.
2 weeks ago.
It was 2 weeks ago.
Last week we had Simon.
Yeah.
I don't think we had a scenario in Sam's.
No, we didn't.
But we're going to try and make them record. So if anybody has scenarios, let me know. And I think we've got Stevie in next week.
Yeah, I've got a good scenario for Stevie, and I'm not going to share it now.
Well, I say next week. It's going to be the week after because we've got someone else on the Monday.
Oh, so in 2 weeks, I've got a really
we can
good.
chop and change it. I'm sure he's got a song out the following Friday. We'll see.
We'll see.
Stevie's coming on the show soon. For those who don't know who he is, he's in a rock band called Twister.
A very good rock band.
Really good.
And we're going to try and sort some sort of drink lock-in at some point. That'll be mint.
That's fun.
Yeah. I don't know a great deal about Resident Evils. I know that what is it, the 7th, the one that you made us play last time?
That is horrific. Yeah, I kind of hammered you into playing that one. I think.
Yeah, I just know that my character got betrayed by his ex, and then you get a chance to save your ex. And I went, cut my hand off with an axe. You can go fuck yourself. There was an option of who do you say, and Scott was at the end. So I saved her. What happened to your cutscene at the end? I said, I flew away in the helicopter. Who was with you? No one. So, no spoilers, by the way. So
I always do the spoiler alert. That's
I flew away with like the missus, and I was like, I left her to die. She cut my arm off.
That's one of the very, very few video games, by the way, that I've had to stop playing, and it was just maybe a couple of months or something.
The
like
ghost girl thing. That was it. I was like,
the little bit around the dining table as well. That kind of freaked me out.
Yeah.
I do like those games though. Like you get the choice. Far Cry 3? You got the choice. So there's like spoiler alerts.
This has turned into a gaming podcast.
I know.
It's great.
Honestly, 2 weeks ago.
Like Pac-Man 4.
Last week was a pub podcast, wasn't it? It was a beer podcast. We talked a lot about beer.
It was, yeah.
Yeah. We're
Mix it for
versatile.
everyone.
We're versatile. We're just musicians in a pub talking about shit. No, I think
the more episodes we go on, the less music we chat.
I know, that's it. But it doesn't matter.
Scott doesn't even know what song he's singing at the end of the show.
I know.
that genuinely could be a problem later. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine.
We'll wing it.
No, I can't. You know what? I can't even. I can hardly remember the ending. But you had a choice between this lassie, and then because it was like you're on this island, and you either like there was these like terrorist drug dealers on the island, and there was like the natives on the island, and you had to, at the end you had to choose which one you wanted to kind of be with. And then this is the spoiler alert. So I picked the girl. I was like, I'm team native, just like anyway, because I was apparently the chosen one. So like I ended up like you get the scene where you you're having sexual intercourse. Like, and then she just like, while like mid thingy, she just gets a knife and just fucking stabs you. And I was like,
I think that's called sex, isn't it, James?
yeah.
Don't you just hate when they do that to you?
I'm like, that was it was disappointing because
Little anticlimactics, was it?
3 out of 10.
Would not shag again.
Could not. Yeah. Well, we've got. We normally had like loads of would you rather's. We only got one this week. So, would you rather, putting your veganism out aside, would you rather eat rotten fish? It just says rotten fish or a fermented egg, but I'm gonna go. Like for that week, you can only eat rotten fish or fermented eggs.
Oh, that's where it changes things.
It's hard because you're a veggie anyway, so that kind of narrows it down a little bit, doesn't it?
I believe
Fish are basically plants, aren't they?
I believe that fermented egg is in some country a delicacy. I'm sure.
I mean, I would have.
I wouldn't always follow every country's policies, though, Scott.
Oh,
However,
this is true.
saying that, in Iceland, rotten shark is a delicacy.
I believe you've had it.
I've had it.
Is it nice?
It is disgusting. It's not
really selling me this rotten fish thing.
The taste isn't too bad, but the smell is just. That was the same. The same night I had a goat's head as well.
Yeah, I vividly remember getting that in the WhatsApp group chat.
Yeah,
It's a different thing.
It's a full. So basically, they just boiled the head of a sheep and just stuck it on a plate and give it. The worst part of it was trying to get the tongue out, and you could see the teeth clattering.
Oh, do you know what? I vividly remember this text now, right? He'd sent a text and we're like, why have you picked that? Why have you chosen to eat that, right? And the text he sent was, the waiter started laughing when I asked for 2 slices of bread to make a sandwich with the tongue.
That was funnily enough. That was the same year I did the Veganuary. I went full tilt.
That was funny
I'll
enough.
give you credit, that would have turned me a bit.
Yeah.
The same year he contracted all manner of food poisoning.
I just had the waiters just like laughing at us because I'm sure it was just like because it's supposed to be like a delicacy, but I'm sure it's just.
Do you not reckon that's not what they tell tourists?
Tell tourists. That's
They're
what
just
I think.
like, I've got this goat's head. But that guy looks British. Go tell him it's fantastic.
To be fair, I'm certain that's how like potato skins started as well. You know, just giving it to someone in
They
the
are all right.
restaurant who doesn't know what
Potato
they're having.
skins.
Would you rather eat potato skins or a goat's head?
Probably potato skins. Yeah.
Well, it depends
More
on
readily
sauce.
available.
No, definitely potato skins. Like
Yeah, one sheep's head enough.
It was
Yeah.
awful because he still had like the eyelashes and stuff like that, and it's like, I mean, the cheek wasn't. I think I'm gonna stop talking. I'm gonna put people off here.
I don't know.
I'll have a picture. I'll have to show you a picture of it one time.
It is truly disgusting.
Yeah, it is. It's literally just a head of a sheep on a plate, and just
You can merge that into the end of the podcast.
Yeah.
There's
You
your
can add
pictures.
photos in it. Chuck it about here. This is where Bess's goat thing was.
And we had that with a rotten shark, and then you mixed it with it was a shot of it's called Black Death, which was their kind of liquor, which is quite strong, it's like licorice-y. And that was quite nice, to be fair. But you kind of needed that, just to kind of, it's like Dutch courage kind of thing. Just like I'm going in.
Take the taste of eyelashes out your mouth, that kind of thing.
But
What does eyelash taste like?
Ask Bess.
What do eyelashes taste like?
too small to like actually. They just get stuck under your throat.
Did you eat the eye?
Little goat eyelashes in your throat.
Did you go for the eye? Did you eat the eye?
Well, I tried to cut the eye out,
Oh no.
but like it was just turned to mush. So
It's like turned into a Saw movie now. This is
I know,
disgusting.
I know it is awful. And so we're gonna get next podcast. We're gonna get vegan protesters outside signs.
I'll join in. I'm not eating goat's eyes. Yeah.
Yeah,
Too far, James.
That's
Let's
the
eat
point
the
of it,
cheese.
like
though.
I agree.
I'm going fermented egg.
I'm gonna go
I think
fermented
it's
egg.
like you say, delicacy or not. I'm not the biggest fan of fish as it is, unless it's like battered fish. Or I can do prawns and stuff.
stings.
Slowly getting the sushi. I can't stand salmon.
And I mean, saying that I've had rotten fish. It's not. To answer that, it smelled bad, but it didn't actually taste as bad as what it smelled.
Yeah, but surely fermented egg is
But
slightly
if you haven't-
healthier than
Yeah.
rotten fish.
Yeah.
Am I right in thinking it was covered in piss as well? Was that? Is that
That's what they used to do. So
Well,
like,
honey.
honestly, there were a bunch of
and
mad
like
lads.
food
I'm
health
sure,
and safety laws came
When you
in.
pay extra, like,
I'm sure
it's taking the mick.
It's because like Iceland was like full of Vikings. I'm sure they were just like daft bastards who had a drink. It's like, I fucking dare you to eat this.
It's definitely a drinking game, wasn't it?
It's
If you don't down your stein, pissing on your food. Hey, look at John. Drinking pissy goats.
that's what they did. They pissed on it and then
Definitely
they
a Viking
stored it
name, that,
underground
John,
for like 6 months. And then-
Naturally, yeah, that makes perfect sense.
But I'm gonna go. Actually, no. Yeah, I'm gonna go for the rotten fish just to be
It's been a
different.
while since we've had opposite answers.
I know. I was gonna say. Well, I feel if since I've already had my
For a while,
shared
we
my
go, well, this is it.
experience-
We've both went option B. Or
Yeah. No. I'm going rotten fish.
It's a bold move, James.
Yes.
wait, is it 2 eggs, 1 fish?
2 egg, 1 fish.
I'm sure that's a film somewhere. Swiftly moving on. Do you want the slightly appealing one, or do you want the not so appealing one first?
No, hit me with a not so appealing one, I think.
All right.
Get out
So,
of the way.
since you were last on the pod, I don't know if we did a Would You Rather with Scott.
It was basically what would your ideal band be? Like
It was, yeah.
it was the
Yeah, we started off being quite musical. Anyway, episode 14, Shag, Marry, Avoid, Jimmy Savile,
Yeah.
Margaret Thatcher, or Gary Glitter. I love how our podcast has moved.
That's a truly deplorable list of human beings, isn't it? That is like...
I mean, I'm avoiding Margaret Thatcher. That's it.
No, I'm not going to lie.
I mean, we're all too old for the other two.
Haven't thought about
That's
it.
a good point.
Haven't thought about it. You'd have to shag Margaret Thatcher, wouldn't you? Because the pure stamina on the woman, because she consistently fucked the country for 25 years. You know what I mean?
It's got experience. Basically.
Yeah.
Experienced. That's a good point. Yeah.
I mean, Jimmy's in a box.
So is Maggie.
I'm going to avoid Gary because I feel like he's got some nasty mates
We're
in
going to have to
prison.
put, if they were alive, currently alive.
All
We're
right.
not just going to necrophilia this. It's too far, Scott.
That's the thing. Jimmy looks like he could chase you in that tracksuit, doesn't he?
We saw him in Belfast, didn't we? Went to Belfast for a gig. This person was just, and I don't think it was a fancy dress.
No, she
because they
wasn't.
were the
She was-
only one dressed in a
It's like Chelsea.
pink and blue shell suit, the blonde hair, the glasses.
If you have, like,
They were a cigar
white
away
blonde
from
hair-
being arrested.
Genuinely, if you have white blonde hair and you're wearing a shell suit, you wouldn't wear those glasses, would you? You know?
Actually, yeah. I think you're right with Maggie Thatcher. You'd probably have to shag Maggie Thatcher.
Sadly.
Well, to be fair, she was played by Gillian Anderson.
You know,
I'd just be thinking of Gillian Anderson
I
while
had
doing the.
so many mixed feelings watching that.
I know, it was so weird. I was like, oh god, because she's still all right now. Like, I mean, not dressed as Maggie Thatcher, but you know, she's yeah. So yeah, I think that's definitely. I'd probably. I'd say, yeah, I'd probably marry Jimmy Savile actually, because I think although he's obviously a despicable,
He's-
awful human being, I bet he's a bit more funnier, you know. So at least you can have a little bit of like.
Well, he was in that Peter Kay Amarillo video, wasn't he? So
Yeah, well, that's it.
Do you know, really ridiculously, I know this sounds pretty farcical considering the absolutely heinous crimes that Jimmy Savile has committed, but the more I find out about Gary Glitter, the more I hate the man.
Yeah.
He's
No,
a
Gary,
truly
I don't want to
disgusting
be
man.
in your gang.
he had a really good song on Joe.
Don't talk to me about
Hey.
Are you allowed to sing that on the podcast?
I sing it so terribly they'll not pick it up. It's fine. No copyright strike here.
Yeah, I think I'm going avoid Gazzy.
Yeah.
Probably marry Mags. Feel like with her authority, she might have like her own slaves. To be fair, like housework is sorted. You just have to be told what to do. And I've had past relationships where I'm just told you're in the wrong. Okay, yes, dear. And as long as you get to choose which order Shag and Jimmy Savile happens, as in your top, he's bottom. That's a good like bragging right, isn't it? Fucked him.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I feel like you have a choice. Pretty boy like you. Go on, not a chance.
I'm too old for him to want to be up there.
Just make sure you don't shave. This is disgusting, by the way.
Do you know what? I'm talking this one, thinking this is the most on the edge of the podcast we've ever come.
Just a disclaimer, like I do not approve of this at all, even though I am answering the questions and being a part of it.
Yes, truly disgusting. Keep them coming though. Like we had a not on the podcast. Kim Jong Un, Vladimir Putin, and Donald Trump was in the question. He didn't miss a really fucking random podcast.
That's some special guests, you know.
Do you mind that? Should we try and get them in?
Go ask them.
Donald's doing nothing. At
Vladimir,
the moment,
just like, look, what is your problem?
Just
Who pissed on your goat's head?
are you okay? No, are you okay, lad?
Men's mental health awareness month. We'll get them in.
Yeah.
There's clearly something below the surface.
I'm still living in hope that whatever's living on top of Donald Trump's head crawls down and kills him one day. Quite frankly, you know.
You're not a fan living in America with
Not
them
so
anymore?
much. Yeah, he's not the man.
No. Is anyone over there the man?
Do you know, I think we're closer now.
Well,
Closer now than we were with Boris Johnson Mark II.
Oh God.
don't have that anymore as of today.
As of today, yeah.
Good old Lizzie.
Got Maggie Part 2 now.
More human backwash. Great.
Sorry,
So
what was your...
Yeah. So I am gonna avoid Gary Glitter because he's just like, because he's a despicable human being, and I just think he's probably like really boring, and I just don't think he's got any personality. So definitely avoid him. It's just a toss up between Maggie Thatcher and Jimmy Savile because.
I hope that gets clipped out. I want that to be the promo for this week's video. Just a toss up between Maggie Thatcher and Jimmy Savile.
Do you know, I vividly remember talking to you on a car journey to a gig somewhere
About
Gary Glitter. And I was driving and you started laughing reading his Wikipedia page that he'd kind of disguised himself by calling himself Barry Brilliant.
I do remember that. That's Barry Brilliant. Is it going through customs? Or just like.
So sorry, Shag Mario Boyd, Jimmy Savile, Margaret Thatcher, or Barry Brilliant?
Well, Barry Brilliant, definitely avoid. I'm gonna. You know what? I'm gonna marry Maggie Thatcher because at least with Jimmy Savile you can just like. You can be a bit more like, fuck you, I'm going to fuck you physically, because, you know, well,
It's a bit more of a bragging right, isn't
it is, I would say.
A bit more, not by much, but...
At least, you can despise Maggie Thatcher, but, you know, at least... at least she was like, she didn't, like, fiddle kids or anything, just minors.
Different type of minor.
Yeah.
This is never ever getting broadcast ever.
Go on, Scott, your official 3.
Shagging Maggie. I'm going to avoid Barry Brilliant. Yeah. And unfortunately, I'm going to have to become Mr. Savile.
Or he could be Jimmy Kears.
Well, that kind of that takes the notoriety of the name away, doesn't it? You know, I quite like that.
I recognise your husband. Used to be on telly.
Now then.
Can you fix it for me? Change my name.
Shag Mary Boyd Part 2.
Oh, good, there's more.
Cartoon edition. Elastigirl from The Incredibles. Marge Simpson and Lois Griffin. This feels a bit more PG.
Yeah.
Do you know...
Absolutely.
We had this conversation before. I don't know who Elastigirl is because I'm 35, and Connor had to show me a video of The Incredibles on YouTube.
I like that he's playing this down, Scott. I know
Yeah.
you've got a poster of it in your bedroom.
Everyone knows. You're like, oh shit, they're on to me.
So yeah, this is a
35. I mean, I was only 10 when it came out.
It's a tough one, isn't it? Because you got like, you know,
When did it come
Lois did kiss. She's got to be good. She's got to be cool.
Did she?
One of them.
Well, yeah, but she also doesn't know any of the songs.
She doesn't know.
And have
Copyright
a
strike
very
too.
Yeah, no, copyright strikes.
But you know, from what I've seen, Elastigirl looks bendy. She's, you know, she's cool.
Well, it's called Elastigirl for a reason.
Well, I'd shag
It's around
Elastigirl.
2004.
Yeah.
Is that right?
So were you 79?
I think it's something like that. Close to that. 2004.
2004 film. Incredibles 2 came out in 2018. So
It was a good gap
2004,
there,
I was
wasn't
10. What's our age? How old are you now? 35?
35.
So you would have been 17.
Yeah, that's probably why I haven't seen it.
I've got
I
the
still think
answer.
you're playing it down, you know.
Nah.
Oh,
But I've got my answers.
Do you know who?
I feel like Marge should be
course,
married.
Of course you do.
Of course, everyone knows
And
Elastigirl is.
what's your age difference between you and Scott?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Say, of course he knows, and you're just like, too cool for that
Yeah,
shit.
he was 16 when it came out. He's probably watching that.
I was absolutely watching it. I went to the cinema. I was good. Got the premiere and everything. Like, got the popcorn and all sorts. I was excited for the Incredibles. No, I've got my answers.
Go on then.
So I'd shag Elastigirl because it's
Bendy,
Elastigirl, Bendy. I'd marry Lois just because, well, she's a bit kinky in the bedroom. We all know that. Safety word, banana. She's got a bit of a wild side. You know, she's got past time. Like when she was on spring break that time, and she's just an all round. I mean, she can put up with Peter Griffin, so she can most likely put up with me. And I know, I don't know Marge. I mean, I'd unfortunately, reluctantly avoid Marge Simpson, but the only reason is because I think she's a bit more of like a Moaning Myrtle.
Yes.
She's like, oh, James.
Why do I feel like you've thought about this far too much?
What about it so much he's got the character now? Sounds down to a T.
So I just think like, yeah, because the Marge and Lois are quite similar, but I think Lois is a bit more like free and relaxed and cool.
Party girl.
Yeah. So I think I'd have a bit more of a good life with her.
I think I'm going. I'm marrying Elastigirl.
Yeah.
Not only would she be great to look at every day, superhuman. Like
Yeah,
when
that's
I had
good.
a child, they're gonna have a chance of having superpowers, and that's just cool as fuck anyway.
That's good.
I'd probably shag Lois, and I agree. Marge is a bit of a ball buster.
Yeah.
What I did in lockdown, I just watched The Simpsons from start to finish. In the first 2 seasons, she tries to cheat on Homer every 3rd episode. She's out with that bowling guy, and she's got that choice where she's either going to meet him at the power plant and go and have an affair. And I'm like, she's not exactly loyal, and she complains a lot. She's very disrespectful. This woman.
Homer and Mindy, you know?
Homer did nothing though. Mindy tried.
He
And
ate the
Homer's are
turkey.
going, no, he ate the turkey, but didn't eat nothing else. But you watch it, and Homer's like really loyal, and then Marge is like, yeah, but I'm getting another one. I'm going another one. I'm like,
Didn't he kiss Mindy?
nope.
I
No,
thought he kissed
because
Mindy.
he was put in a situation like where they were like work colleagues and they had to do this kind of thing, and obviously he did have feelings, but he never did act upon it.
Yeah.
And he very nearly. Actually, I don't think. Well, he
I
thought about it, but
I
he never.
think-
He thought he was being told he had to, and then she was like,
Yeah.
"Don't have to." And then the scene comes back to them kissing, but it had actually been when he brought Marge back. So when you watch it, you think Homer's a really good guy, and Marge, no,
Yeah.
I'm not quite Marge
And
fan.
just imagine like every
She's the
single
reason
time,
there was never a second film.
every single time you have like she has a flipping shower, you'd be fucking all them flipping blue hairs out.
Yeah, there's a lot of blue
It's
hair
just,
going
there's
on.
a lot of maintenance going on, just like. And Bart's a little shit as well, so you'd have to put up with it.
Yeah, do you get the stepkids along with it? Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Does that mean I have to look after Chris Griffin? No.
Yes,
No.
but you get Stewie.
Yeah.
And a dog that wants to shag you, right?
It's not Brian Shag marrying the void, right?
It's not, no.
Yeah, that's a good point actually. I was thinking like I could say shut up Meg, so I could be that.
Do your
that
best
guy.
Peter voice, go on.
Shut up Meg. I don't know, I won't say I'm
That was a good effort.
I'm awful at like flipping I can do the Marge one, that's about it, like so. And I can
Challenge you
beatbox.
next week.
Yeah, I'll try now.
When you beatbox as Marge Simpson.
I'll do it what do you call it, like an impression of the week.
Yes, we'll do it on Saturdays.
I'll do that.
If you're taking votes, your Marge one was better.
Yeah. That's all I can do.
Alright, final down to you. What's your order?
My order would be, you know what? Since I think you converted me to a bendy girl, Elastigirl. Yeah, that's a new one to me.
Took you 35 years to get converted to a bendy elastic girl.
Apparently so.
Cool.
And yeah, you got to marry Lois. She's cool.
Yeah.
Lois knows Kiss, you know.
And then that just leaves out the lowest common denominator, which is Marge Simpson. God, Marge, do better.
You could have really
Season 36. I want to see some better Marge.
You could have flung a spanner in the works with like Wilma Flintstone, you know, because she's groovy. But
Could have, but that wasn't what the viewers wanted to hear.
Yeah,
They wanted to hear Marge Simpson. So let us know who you'd rather Shaq, marry, avoid. Marge Simpson, Jivy Savile, or Maggie Thatcher. And I think that's the end of part 2.
I would say that's definitely the end of part 2.
That's
Right, well, thank you
see
very
you
much.
in the next part.
Yep.
Which to us is in like 3 seconds time.
Let's do it.
To them it's 5.
See you later. There you put them on. Yeah, we've received breaking news. Apparently, Homer did kiss Mindy.
Well, and you know what? There's still no evidence.
Well, actually, right,
He's halfway through showing the video,
I feel
and
this
then he
is
got
proof.
confused about how to use headphones.
He's doing.
What do I do?
How does these work?
You've got one size large and one size regular.
yeah, we've got Homer kissing Mindy twice.
He does it twice.
To be fair, that one, I think that's a spaghetti.
That looks a
Lady
bit-
in the Tramp thing.
Yeah, that one.
Is that is that?
I think that's confirmed.
Oh my! Oh, bloody hell! Is it sure that's not like a dream that he had or something? Though?
Nah, I think
Dirty
he's right.
man.
I think he does that, and then he's like, nah.
Oh well, you know he's
And then he goes
Yeah.
to that country bird, but he's like, Marge has annoyed him, but he's like, he doesn't do anything, he just managed a music career.
I'm going to stop with the Marge now. It's done now. It's done.
Welcome back to part 3. For anyone who actually doesn't know, Scott went away to America.
Yeah.
We still don't know why.
Because it's important to pay for healthcare. Okay.
Oh, well, yeah, just getting some practice in. And we got a couple of American questions. Obviously, we're bringing the music back to the podcast. It normally takes half an hour, but we get there. Have you written any new songs since you moved to America?
I've written a few. Yeah. I'm keeping them all nice and close to my chest.
But yeah, we're not
and
asking for a sample, but
under wraps and stuff. But yeah, I should have a new album out within a few months.
how
maybe.
many songs would you count an album?
I'm looking at this one particular 12, 13, I think.
My kind of album. I like an album with like 27 songs on for no reason.
Yeah, I like a story
70
album.
bonus tracks.
You know, I think,
Josh Ritter.
I was literally going to say, I think my all-time favourite album is So Runs the World Away.
It's perfect.
It's because it opens up with curtains, change, and then it brings in a change of time. It's just, and then Another New World when the crescendo hits of the trumpets and everything, and it's just like.
Do you know, I saw him play that for the first time he ever played it live, and
Yeah.
it was beautiful then. But having listened to it so much, I think I went back and saw him play a few years later, and I was like openly just weeping in front of
Yeah.
him as he played this song. It's really incredible. It is a beautiful album. That incredible.
I listened to it back a few weeks ago actually. And I just I can't believe it's like 10 years old or something, isn't it? It's like
Terrifying.
yeah. To me, it still is like new
Yeah.
release.
Well, I went to London to a venue called the Tabernacle. It was an old church, and he played that song for the first time in the UK, or first time live, possibly. It was when like an album release, and it was just an acoustic show, and there was like 40 people in the audience, and it's about as perfect as a gig gets. I think it was about £120 a ticket or something.
Yeah.
Stupid money for a ticket, but just to see him in that kind of situation,
Yeah.
just him and a guitar, and
It's like I mean, I've mentioned it a few times in these podcasts, but there's nothing better than seeing like an artist in such a small, confined venue, especially something like a church.
yeah.
Just the
Just-
acoustics
yeah.
and stuff.
It's just absolutely perfect gig. Best gig I've ever been to.
Yeah, I'd love to go see him again. I've only ever seen him once, but it was just If anyone doesn't know who Josh Ritter is, get your Spotify on and search for Josh Ritter. Specifically, I'm trying to think. Temptation of Adam is a flipping brilliant song.
Curse.
The Curse, that's on So Runs, but just
Runs,
listen to So Runs the World Away all the way through, and you'll be transcended into another universe.
You can't help but fall in love with him live as well. He's such a kind of such a happy man, and he like
yeah.
exudes this kind of
That's
incredible like. It's almost like a magnetism.
He's the only person I've ever seen fade out a song live. I don't know how he did it to this day.
He's a fantastic musician, though.
Yeah,
Well
he's,
worth going to see.
Definitely.
Did you do any gigs when you were in America?
I have not yet. I'm lining up with you. I was supposed to be gigging with a guy called Mark Dingham, who, well, I say supposed to be. It was a last minute kind of offer, and I was already out watching a band called the Punch Brothers that night.
I've heard of them. They're decent.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the next stop in the States is a bar called Motor Bar, and fingers crossed, hopefully a few more things come from that. Be nice to do. Yeah. But yeah, the Punch Brothers, like I say, well worth going to see.
Heard Punch Brothers. It's one thing that one advantage of living in America, you do get like amazing artists just on your doorstep.
Yeah.
There's a lot of brilliant, like, especially if you're into kind of the music, like you and me, you into like Americana. It's in the name, innit?
Yeah.
But like you get like a lot of brilliant.
Get a lot of that in Iceland, don't you?
Yeah.
that as well. But I mean, I ended up last month going to see Run DMC, Outkast.
Ah, he's saying it was a baseball match.
Yeah,
$7.
baseball game, $7 tickets, just fantastic.
Really, it was a music festival with a baseball game attached to it for $7.
Absolutely.
That's insane.
Yeah, it's just absolutely fantastic kind of music vibes in the States, and I think pick your state well, you'll definitely get to see who you want,
Yeah, I know. It's one thing I'm wanting to do one of those like Route 69 tours, but it's getting the time off in it. You've got, if you're doing that, you got to have like at least like a month off to kind of.
I think to see everything you want to see. Yeah, it's a big place, An
absolute dream is to I don't know what studio it is yet, but to get myself to like Nashville or something like one of the famous studios and record, even if it's a song, but I'd love to record like a full album. Just spend like a month or something in Nashville.
Yeah.
And then maybe gig a few, because there's I think it's Nashville. There's just a strip, and there's just bar after bar. It just plays live music.
Yeah.
It's like the big market on steroids.
Do you know, you mentioned like the I know, was it the studio that Elvis recorded in? It was
Sun Records.
Sun
Studios.
That's in Tennessee, isn't it?
I think that's. Is that? Yeah, it might be Tennessee.
Yeah,
it is. That's to be Memphis. Aye.
Genuinely, I'll be more interested in going to the Muscle Shoals studios with like people like Skinner.
Yeah.
Neil Young recorded there.
Yeah.
Drive-By Chuggers, one of my favourite bands, recorded there too. Definitely worth.
Well, I mean, the closest we've got to be was Blast.
Blast is brilliant though.
Do you know, when you recorded your latest have we? Oh, we mentioned it last week, didn't we?
Yes.
Yeah. Third.
26 this week at the minute.
It's 26, but still.
It's higher than Harry Styles this week.
Oh well, there we go. Look at that. Look at you, Harry Styles, motherfucker.
I'm just below Kylie Minogue.
What a horrible place to be.
Would you rather shag marry your
Harry Styles
Kylie Minogue
and Jimmy Savile.
Yeah.
Shag Jimmy Savile.
That's probably still shag Jimmy Savile.
For anybody who just skips part 2, that wasn't out of context.
Oh my god.
We got a final question. Is obviously you've been a musician for about, I think you were old enough since Beatles started, weren't you?
years, yeah.
Do you have any funny stories from when you were younger and touring? So thank you very much for coming down.
Touring. You must have a few like decent ones from like like the Smugglers. I mean, that was like just the musicians' hub.
It was great. It was a fantastic little venue. I believe we probably met there.
Most likely,
the weird things I remember were like I used to work behind the bar there, and we used to have really unusual little paranormal kind of you'd think we'd see people at windows and then they wouldn't appear on the TV screens and stuff. It had a bit of a
went on.
like haunted vibe to it.
The lockdown, like no lockdowns, the lock-ins.
No.
Oh God, I mean, PTSD there. Lockdown. The lock-ins there were like immense. I mean, you used to just stay there, but you used to only go home when the sun came up. It was like six in the morning.
I fell asleep on a beach, on the beach outside there, and like woke up with sunburnt eyelids and walked back to work once. And I remember it was one of those things where I kind of got up at 6 in the morning and walked home and got my key in the door. And as soon as I got my key in the door, my friend from it was when I was teaching at the time, kind of pulled up behind me and like, so grab your guitar, we're ready to go, kind of thing. And I'm like, I've not slept, I'm seriously hungover, and all the kids are going to be like, you smell like my dad. And it was like the most
famous
horrific
Bewitched song, isn't it? You smell like me dad.
But he had
I'm going to
Strike
get
through.
like strike two. No.
strike 3 year out. But yeah, we used to get up with some absolute shit down there and somehow stagger home the next day.
The thing is, like, it was a shit pub, but it was a good shit pub.
It was our shit pub.
Yeah.
You know.
That's it. Like, nobody used to go down there unless there was bands on.
Yeah.
That was the thing. That's the only thing that kept it going. And they used to pay the bands fucking shite.
Yeah.
They used to say eventually it got to the point where, like, because who was it? It's called. It was the guy who
Paul owned it, yeah. Paul and Donna, wasn't it? Yeah. But it was a brilliant venue. That's all. Like, the only way I can describe it is just you went in there, you lost like 8 hours of your life.
Yeah.
But you had a great gig.
Yeah,
it was always great fun.
You could never remember the gig, but I mean, you just assumed it was a good one.
Yeah, everyone else looked happy. You know? You got to enjoy it.
That was good. Granny Annie's now, isn't it? Which is a decent venue as well.
It's a nice little pub.
It's just not the Smugglers though. It's not the Smugglers.
What is though?
Well, absolutely nothing, because it's not there anymore. So
it's a shame.
Good to end the podcast on a high.
Was
Do you have any upcoming shows?
Upcoming shows, I believe next Sunday I'm playing in a venue called the Flying Scotsman. I think that's my last
Just to
one.
confirm, when he says next Sunday, he means this Sunday. 'Cause
This Sunday, yeah.
this episode will be out on the Tuesday.
So how was the gig?
No, as in it's coming up.
Oh, it's coming up.
still coming up.
He'll tell you next week.
Honestly,
I'll let you know.
For being Back to the Future being like one of my favourite ever films, I'm shit with time travel.
I've
Honest to God, I'm so confused with these.
So yeah, if you want to see Scott live, he's going to be at the Flying Scotsman on the Sunday
Yeah, it's an
after the
afternoon,
Newcastle
isn't it?
game. They haven't quite. I think they said like 4 o'clock-ish.
Thanks to Tiny Guitars.
Yes, thanks to Tiny
Oh,
Guitars.
you got that booking? Are you booking them for them now?
No, I'm just booking the one gig.
It's the one gig. Ah, that's fair enough.
Yeah, we'll plug Tiny Guitars one day. I need to get that up and running again. I kind of like it started off really well, and then I just dropped it for original music, and now I'm like, I need to put it back up slowly.
Nice.
I kind
It's
of
there, you know
died
what I mean?
in March. I think I built a website, made a website, and then released the website, and then never used the website. That's a lie. I got 1 gig from the website. We booked it through, so
all right then.
and then I did nothing from then onward.
Paid for itself now, you're fine.
It's not. Have your social medias changed since your last
You
year?
haven't? No, Scott from Elizabethtown on Instagram.
I hope that. So instead of everybody listening to what Scott's got to say, go back to episode 1, listen to it all the way to the end. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, Scott from Elizabethtown on Instagram, Scott Keir's Facebook, Tinder, Pokemon Go, all that. All the favourites. Twitter. I'm still on Twitter. I still do Twitter.
I'm trying to get into Twitter, but
It's honestly, it's a full-time job if you want to do it properly, because you've got to just constantly like tweet shit, and it's like
I don't know what I hate more, Twitter or full-time jobs.
It annoys honestly people on Twitter. I mean, apologies for people listening on, like, who find us on Twitter and stuff like that, but you get the people, like, because they're called engagement posts. So the more you post and the more people comment, the more you show up. So people go like, so what's your favourite guitar?
I don't
and it's
believe
just like
we have a
stupid
Twitter
questions
following,
like
James.
that. No, we don't. We've got like 3 people
just gonna
and
double
armed
check.
2 of them.
See, my
Me and
favorite
Scott are the other one.
my favorite thing on Twitter is genuinely arguing with other football fans, and then when I get bored of arguing with them, I
Off the
text James and
stage
say,
too.
"Do you want to do
I know.
you want to join in?" You know,
We've got 9 followers.
9. That's 3 times as many as you expected.
But I know it's just like they're just
wouldn't
stupid
tell us.
questions. Like you always like they're called engagement questions, and it just annoys us. I'm like, so what's your favourite thing to play, or like I think of the worst one I've ever. I mean, I tweeted one. I was like, what's your favourite engagement question? Nobody answered. But yeah, you've got to like constantly like tweet every like 20 minutes or so. Otherwise, people just forget who you are, and it's just like. I'm still on it, but
Big shout to official T-Law, Ashley Reckless, and I've just clicked a button that's not let me go back. Oh, there we go. Simon Rafferty, the Hanging Bandits, Harbour Master, Jack Milcreast, Conor Michael, James Berry,
He's cool.
me.
Yeah,
and
he's alright too.
Scott Kerris. Do you know, like the week after you
He
moved to
looked
America?
really sexy, by
He
the way.
was alright, wasn't he? The week after you moved to America, I got an Instagram followed by a Keir Scott, and I was like, he's made a second account. Just a random, different person.
No way.
Yeah, you shouldn't be that surprised. I put it in our little group chat, going, Scott, you followed us, and he went, no. I was like, who the fuck's Keir Scott?
do you think he's actually called like because his first name would be Kia, wouldn't? Because that's.
Or maybe his
First
first name's
name?
Scott Kears, and he's like, shit,
It's already,
it's
been
already a
taken.
Scott
Yeah.
Kears.
He's already got it, the bastard.
What song would you like to sing for us? Normally we'd let part 3 go a bit longer, but you've got a football match to watch. in
Yeah, I
about 8
do. I'm
minutes.
going to go and watch my team get 3 points, I hope.
Yes, Middlesbrough, yeah.
Against Middlesbrough.
Oh, right.
But yeah, I really didn't think about this, so I'm going to play a song that Jen wrote from Elizabethtown, and hopefully I remember it all.
Yes, that's a big importance. Thank you very much for coming down.
Thank you
We'll
for
try
having
and
me.
see you for the off the stage lock-in. We'll make that
Yeah.
a thing some point before you leave. If anybody wants to check us out, obviously we're Off the Stage UK.
That's the perfect name for it. Off the stage login. It's not episode 20.
Off the Stage lock-in.
Off the stage login.
Off the Stage UK on all socials. Off the Stage 2 on Twitter. We're slowly starting to use TikTok again.
Yeah,
mean, we
you're using TikTok. That's savage.
You're the last one to put a video on that, to be
Was
fair.
that? Oh, I wasn't it?
Yeah.
Shit, aye.
So yeah, if you've got Spotify and you listen to it, give away a 5-star review. If you haven't, go get it, give away a 5-star review. Comment as much as you want on the YouTubes, because we get like one episode, like 10 comments, and then one episode with none. And the more comments, the more algorithms it kind of boosts us. And we've noticed we're getting a lot more views on YouTube. So if you are streaming on Spotify, go back and watch it on YouTube, because they need to see Scott's beautiful face. He's embarrassed by his football team. That's why he's wearing a hoodie at the minute. There is a football top underneath there.
Just didn't want to alienate half my audience, you know.
And we'll see you next week with whoever we decide is going to be the next episode.
See, this time travel malarkey is just like.
Yeah, we'll see you on part 4 with
Yeah.
your guitar.
Perfect.
Yeah, let's get you set up. Thank you very much for watching.
Thanks for listening.
See you later.
Ta-da.
Cheers.
There you go.
Yeah, good.
Shut up then.
Make more noise.
Time after time, I've wandered these streets, just a glance from your eyes, and I can feel your heartbeat. It's the closeness of you, throwing pebbles in the water, heart sinking with time. Your heart is so true. I feel your light shining through, and I belong to another. I love her, I do. And your tears that fall, I catch in my hand. They'll burn me so deep. Time is falling like sand. It's the closeness of you, throwing pebbles in the water, heart sinking with time. Your heart is so true. I feel your light shining through, and I belong to another. I love her, I do. Raise a glass, whiskey rivers make us laugh. It's the truth that tears my heart apart. Raise a glass, whiskey rivers make us laugh. It's torn apart. Your heart is so true. I feel your light shining through, and I belong to another. I love her, I do.